Hey, welcome everybody. It's Karen Lanoux from No Limits Businesswoman and the Law of Attraction Center. And today is day 3. Uh, Create 2020 Plan Jam. And so what we've been doing throughout this whole process is talking about what you can do to start creating your 2020 so you actually reach your goals this next year. Look, we set goals, right? And if we're doing things in a way that works, we achieve our goals. There's a lot of people who follow me and who are into law of attraction or into other metaphysical stuff, which is really cool, right? And they refrain, and I've done this as well. They've refrained from actually setting goals. It's just like, okay, well, whatever the universe wants me to do, I'm going to do that, and so I'm just going to go with the flow. And you know what that is? It's a recipe for things to not happen. And not that you can't trust the universe. It's just that when we sit back and we're not actually involved in the creation process, things don't happen. That's just the way it is. Things don't happen, and they certainly don't happen in the same time frame. Now, it's not to say that you shouldn't be actually connecting in with the universe or, infinite intelligence or God, whatever that is, your higher self, whatever that is for you. That actually is part of the process, and it's always funny to me because so many people say, what you do is you connected me with my spirituality, and I never really think of it that way. To me, it's just actually connecting in with yourself and connecting in with your intuition, which is guided, right? So here's the thing. Again, if you have been the type of person that has not necessarily kind of been sitting back and it's like, okay, I'm just going to go whatever way I'm guided to. And again, following that guidance is great. It's really actually very good to have an end game. What is the thing that you truly want? What is the feeling that you really want to be feeling? And what I've done with you over this last 3 days or last 2 days previous to today is talking about vibe design, right? Because it's all about our vibe. It's all about what the energy we're putting out there. It's about our vibration. And so when we can design that, we actually start to pull in what we want much, much faster. And it is about actually following that guidance. It is about connecting in with that ourselves. But we have to set up that end goal. And so, so one of the things, and how I actually have been working with my clients to do this for quite a long time now, is to be making sure that they're not that they're staying focused, because if we're not focused on that end result that we really want to be feeling, that really the end goal that we want to have, which is always about the feeling, because really that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get to that sense of that feeling of happiness, relief, excitement, fun, joy, gratitude, whatever that is. There's that goal that's attached to it. And so how do we get there? And it is by focus. When we're not focused, it's hard to get to that end result. And so, and in this world, in these days, it's really difficult to stay focused. There's lots of distractions, tons of distractions. And so what I'd like you to do is actually stay focused and stay on plan. And so back in 2014, if you've been watching me, in the last couple of calls, or the last couple of videos, you would have seen me. I've shown you a year of wow. This is one of my biggest recommendations to people, is to, whether it's this journal or something else, but in here there's lots of special stuff that helps to keep you focused. But you need to stay focused. You need to be working on this and connected to it day by day. I use the example of I call it Turo, the universal restaurant of everything. And so it's by writing in a journal what you're doing and doing it daily, you're staying connected to what you ordered. I mean, when we go to a restaurant, we're not going to be there for very long. We're going to be there for probably a couple of hours. So we're not likely to change our order. But think about it in this way. If we do change our order, it's like we're calling the our server to come in and say, okay, this is what I'd like. And then they head off to the kitchen to put in our order. And partway there, we kind of call them back and say, oh, no, actually, I want to have this instead. And so they go, okay, great. Because really, the server doesn't care. They're just wanting to actually get you what you want, right? So if you think of this, and you think of creating your goals in this manner, it's the very same thing. But when we get distracted daily, because generally the goals that we're creating, the bigger goals that we're creating, don't happen in the same day. They don't even happen in the same week. Sometimes they do, but not always. And so it's easy to go off track. It's easy to get distracted. It's easy to say one day, oh, this is the thing that I really want. This is, you could be writing it down, or even just, and most people just think it, right? They're just thinking, it's like, this is the thing that I really want to have. But then the next day, they might think about something different. They think, oh no, this is what I want instead. And so all of a sudden, this order's gone in, and it's actually almost like the server has to turn around and come back and take your next order. And so we keep putting in all these different orders. And so what I found in the first time, even before I created this journal, that's what I found that I was doing. So that's why I created the journal. So I could have a place where I could continuously keep track and stay on track with my goal. So one of the things so since 2014, when I created the first one, the first Year of Wow Daily Attraction Journal, since then I've created, or as of today, or as of this last weekend, I've created the 4th edition. And there are some new additions to the 4th edition. And most specifically, there's 7 other colors besides this one. It's all about the same. They're spiral bound, so you can open them. It's easy to write in. But there's some new things that have come in. And one of them that I've been talking about over the last couple of days is Vibe Design. And so I've gone through the 6 parts of Vibe Design, and I'm going to quickly do that right now just to bring you up to date. And ask you, is this where you are? Have you gone through each of these processes? Because it's really important that you do this. So first of all, of course, decide on your goal. Easy, right? Okay, what do I want? What is the thing that I want that, if I'm looking ahead at 2020, what do I want to create? What are my goals? What are my monetary goals? What are my physical goals? What are my spiritual goals? What are my mental goals? What are my relationship goals? All those different things. And in there could be a variety of different things. And some you might not have any goals in, and others you might have 5 goals in one particular area. So decide on your goal. The next thing that I've asked you to do in Vibe Design is to identify a symbol. And a symbol that just characterizes your particular goal, because the way our subconscious connects in is not through language. It's actually through, again, vibration, our energy, our feelings, but also through images. And that's how we really connect in with the universe. That's how we connect in with, again, infinite intelligence and our higher self, is through images. And not particularly through language. The only thing that is conveyed through language is our vibration, is that energy. So by defining a symbol, what you're able to do, or what I'd like you to be able to do, is in those tween zones, when you are thinking about your goal, instead of kind of like this kind of big abstract goal, is to think about this particular symbol. And the symbol can be a letter, a couple letters, a number in a letter. It could just be, again, just an image, and put a circle around it or something again that is going to be easy, really simple, and easy for you to remember. It's like a logo, really, the logo for your goal. Okay. So that's the next thing, and that's going to come back, in a little bit about what to do with that. So the third step then is to set out the parameters, the criteria for your goal, for each of your goals, right? And for each of your goals, you should have a different symbol for them as well. And so the next thing again is the criteria, the parameters. What do you want that goal to look like? What are the important elements of it? So write those down. And again, I go into this in greater detail in the first video in day one. That's the third step, is to do that. The fourth step is then to identify how you are going to feel. And yes, I said feel, THEELIEINGS, if you can read my writing. And this is a term I coined probably a decade ago, where it is really a high intensity thought and feeling together. And we have these all the time, right? So we might have these high intensity thoughts and feelings that are going on for us consistently. So we may have that about our business. So for some of us in our business, we may feel a constant joy and excitement about our business, which is great. That's a great feeling. For some of us, it could be about our business or our job, great frustration, right? And so it's an automatic. It's an automatic go-to, because what happens is over time we've learned to be in that space. We've learned to feel those feelings. Okay, so but what I want you to do for your goal is to start to identify those really positive, highly charged feelings that you're going to have when your goal has been realized. So I want you to write those down, because those are going to be really important for you to connect with your symbol and then with those feelings. Okay, so that's the next thing. Then the fifth step I called will, which is, what is life like? So an acronym, what is life like? Will. And so this isn't a paragraph. What I want you to write down then is, what is life like now that my goal is created, that now my goal is done, it's realized? What am I going to do? What am I going to do differently? Who am I going to spend time with? What am I going to spend money on? What am I going to save? What am I going to, who am I going to talk to about these things? Who am I going to work with? And what is just my life like? What time do I get up in the morning, right? What are my weekends? Or, how much time do I work? How much time do I have off? I really want you to get really specific about this. And then the last step, the sixth step, is about identifying your best friend story. And so again, so the last three things, the setting it, finding out what you feel, identifying will, so what is life like, and then the final step, which is the best friend story. These I all talked about in day 2 and went into great depth about this. But this is the story that you are telling in your mind to one of your best friends, or the person that's most appropriate to tell when you've actually achieved your goal. So what are you telling them? And what I want you to do is just imagine having these conversations on an ongoing basis. So all of this is meant to kind of for you to connect in with your goals in those tween zones of the day. So your tween zones are first thing in the morning. Just as you're waking up, you can connect in with your goal right in that moment. You can think of your symbol and how that feels, because when you can train your body to feel a really highly charged feeling about something that hasn't yet happened, our subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between something that is happening now and something that hasn't happened yet, or something that's happened in the past. It knows no difference. But what it does is it starts to program our body. It changes it changes the our chemistry in our body, and then therefore it also starts to change the way we think and the way we act. And so this is really, really crucial. And as we're doing this, we're starting to draw in the very things that we want on demand, right? So it's really important to do this. So the best friend story, again, is really just in those tween zones. So again, in the morning, maybe when you wake up, at night when you go to sleep, perhaps when you're also meditating, this is a really good thing to do. in any other time, the best friend story is a great thing to do when you're just doing things that are kind of mindless, you know, going for a walk or doing the dishes or vacuuming or taking a shower, walking down the hallway, commuting to work. Doesn't matter. It's those tween zones where you might be plugging it in with something else that's not so positive, where you're worrying about something, and or you're listening to something negative, or you're actually just plugging in with more and more information as opposed to putting your signature out there in the world with the things that you want. You're putting out your energy about saying, hey, universe, this is the thing that I want. These are the things I want to create. So that is designing your vibe. Now, as promised, one of the things that happens for people is that, and why we don't reach our goals, which is kind of what I wanted to talk about mostly today. The reason we don't reach our goals is there's some kind of incongruency, okay? And so the vibe design starts to help you, take that, kind of close that gap. But one of the things I also asked you to do is, as you were writing down these things, as you were writing down your goal, as you were writing down your feelings, or, what is life like, it may bring up another feeling, and it could be like total excitement, or it also could be like this. One of the gals in yesterday's call, she said it was scary. So then that is that, is it scary, or does it feel heavy, or does it feel like, she's just doing it again and it's not going to happen? No, there's no, not even a possibility. So again, what happens is that we're actually repelling the very thing that we want if we're not paying attention to those incongruent feelings. What we really want to do is bring you into alignment, so you are focusing on what you want and you're excited about it, and you are and you're totally in alignment about that. And so if there's anything that's kind of distracting you, or getting in the way, or you're feeling like it's not going to happen, we want to deal with that. We want to eliminate that. So you can see Pepper in the background there. So he's a distraction, right? So those feelings, those base feelings, they stop us. They stop us from getting what we want. And I really want you to have your goals. So I'm going to talk about one of the tools. It's from the QC3 method, which again is all outlined in A Year of Wow. It's also one of the things that I teach when I am working one-to-one or in groups with my clients. It is one of the most powerful tools to get you unstuck. So if you've been stuck not getting your goals, you really want to learn these tools. And one of them is actually a clearing process. And the clearing process is about setting an intention at its very base. It's about setting an intention, and then following through on it. Okay. And so when you're setting an intention, you want to make sure that you are clear, that your energy is really clear. And so there are so many things that stop us. There are so many things that actually, that again, there's an incongruence. We have these beliefs, we have these conclusions that stop us from getting what we want. And so the clearing process starts to eliminate that. And I didn't bring my water up with me today. Okay, I'm gonna have to be okay with that. So the clearing process is made up of 3 areas. So the first step is the setup phrase, which is identify your limiting or negative belief that you have about achieving this goal. So start to identify that. And then what we want to do in the setup phrase is to say, everything that is, am I willing to eliminate? Or everything this negative or limiting belief is. So everywhere I believe I can't make $10,000 a month, am I willing to eliminate that? And then you say yes. And then there is a clearing statement, which is de-story, transform, and release. And all it's doing in this statement, it's as benign as it is, it's actually very powerful. But what we're saying is, I want to get rid of this story. I want to de-story this. I want to eliminate this story. transform. I want to then the next thing is I want to transform the energy of that previous story. And then I want to release it just out into the universe. I just want to get rid of it. So de-story, transform, and release. Big deal. It's it doesn't sound like much, but what happens is it actually has this very profound ability to get in at a subconscious level and start to change the energy of that limiting or negative belief. Now, one of three things will happen for you. Then you will actually either feel, I'll start with the first thing. You may not feel anything. It might be nothing, but what will happen is after you go away from actually having cleared that, is that you will start to take different action because that limiting or negative belief no longer has any power or as much power on you. The second thing that will happen or could happen is that an image or a thought will come to mind. So whatever that is, just get clear on what it is. And if it's kind of negative or still limiting, or if it's something about the past or something about, something your fear in the future, you want to continue to clear on that. So you just want to say everything this is, am I willing to eliminate that? Yes, de-story, transform, and release. Pay attention to what comes up then. But then a third thing that can happen is you could feel something in your body, and it can be anything. But if you feel some tingling or feeling lightheaded, or just you feel like the energy kind of move, or if it kind of gets stuck in a place, if it moves and you feel like it's kind of moving out and dissipating, that's great. You've started to clear that energy. That's awesome. So that limiting or negative belief no longer has a hold on you, which means that you get into more alignment with your goal. So there's less of that incongruency. There's not that, there's not that incongruency anymore. And so again, but if there is something that feels like an energy kind of gets stuck, or there's a pain or something, and it can be anything, seriously, I've heard all kinds of different things. Just continue to clear on it until it either goes away, dissipates, feels tingly, and leaves, right? And so that's a clearing process. So what I will do with you, because for so many people, either actually making more money, having more money, it's such a big thing for most people. I'm going to do a clearing on that so you can actually see and hear what it's like. So we've used one of the examples throughout the last couple of days, which is about making $10,000 a month. So for you, if it's more than, add in your number. Just imagine me saying your number instead, right? Or if it's lower, that's okay too. Just if it's an extra $1,000, an extra $500, $100, it doesn't matter what it is. For everybody else, this will be different. So plug in this number for yourself. But I'm just going to go through and do the clearing. So everything that doesn't allow you to make or bring in $10,000 this month, are you willing to eliminate that? Yes. De-story, transform, and release. Now, what I want you to do is just pay attention to, how does that feel? What's coming up for you? Is there an image or thought coming to mind? Does it feel like, oh, no, nothing's coming to mind? It's just like, okay, it just feels like nothing, right? But if you think about that limiting or negative belief, it doesn't feel like it's there anymore. If you're feeling something in your body, then continue to clear on that. So I'll just do this again. So everywhere everything that's in the way of you making $10,000 a month, this month and every month, are you willing to eliminate that? Yes. De-story, transform, and release. And again, if you're here with me on the call, plug in what's coming up for you. If you're listening after, let me know what are you feeling? What is happening for you? And let me know, because I will then, we can talk about this. I'll come in and respond to your questions and or your comments. So that is a clearing process. Now, what happens with that is that starts to eliminate that incongruency. So you're allowing yourself to get in more alignment with your goal. So you can get more excited about it. So you can get, you can feel grateful for it. When you can actually feel really, like truly, honestly feel grateful for what for the goal that you want to have, as if it's already happened, boy, that is very, very strong alignment. So that's just one of the clearing state, or that's just one of the tools. There are 6 tools. It's the QC3 method. There are three tools that start with Q, 3 that start with C. And so the clearing process is one of those tools. It is one of the most powerful tools, although they're all very powerful in their own right at different times. So I wanted to share that with you today. And I also want to invite you. 2020 is coming up. It's right around the corner. And I want to just let you know that I'm here for you. I have all kinds of different programs right now where we can either work on one-on-one together, we can work in a group together. I have different time frames of groups, different levels of the groups that actually teach the QC3 method. You have access to all of that. And it will make a profound shift in your life. So if you're interested in that, and you know that 2020 is your year and you want to make those changes, let's have a chat. Let's see if working together if I think that I can help you, and let's see if one of my programs is a really great fit for you. I'm not going to bring you into a program if I don't think you're a great fit, if I don't think I can help you. There is no benefit to me in that in any way, shape, or form. So let's create 2020. Let's create an amazing 2020. So what I'd like you to do, and I'll put the link in down below, is just go to nolimitsbusinesswoman.com/talk, or you can just message me on wherever you're seeing this. Just message me, and we'll set up a time to chat. I've got free time. I've got free time over the next few days before Christmas. Let's get started. Let's get started on 2020. Let's clean up 2019 and go out with a bang and get started on the new year. So thank you so much for taking your time with me. I know there are all kinds of things you could be doing instead, but look, I'm here for you. I want you to get what you want out of your life. You deserve it. If it hasn't been happening for you, or if it's like you've reached certain goals and now you want to go further, I'm awesome at helping people do that. I've helped so many people make multiple 6 figures in their businesses or in their jobs. And I've helped them get better jobs, great bonuses, create relationships that are amazing. Everything you can possibly imagine, I've helped my clients create. And so, somebody's calling me. Let's just deal with that. Just make sure that you connect with me. Again, my goal and my reason for being here is to help you have an amazing year. All right, take care, and thank you again for joining me. If you have any questions, I see a few people are here with me. If you have any questions, I will wait a few moments because I think we're probably about 3 minutes behind in the live. Plug them in right now, and I will wait and plug them in, and let's see if I can answer them. So I will just talk for a few more moments to see if there are any questions that come in. All right. And I am not seeing anything. So I would love you to have a wonderful evening. I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to hearing about your success stories, and happy holidays. Have a wonderful holiday and a happy new year. Keep an eye out. I'm probably going to do some watch parties around this and be there to answer any questions that you have about this in the future. Again, let's create an amazing 2020. Take care.